Right, well today's plan is to give the Evo a deep clean. Get it all cleaned up, get all the road and grime off, road dirt and grime off. It doesn't really show up in the video, but it's very dirty, you can see it. So yeah, give it some foam contact wash, and then I'm going to dry it off using a rinse aid from BDS, which I picked up yesterday, to stop it having water droplets over the car, because no matter how I dry it, there's always water droplets left on the car and it really bugs me. So I'm going to use that product with a nice decent drying towel. And then the next step is to clay bar it, get all of the really small specks of tire and crap off from the road, so it's nice and smooth paint, and then use that, which is my DA polisher, to give it a proper cut and polish, and hopefully bring out more of the gloss, get rid of some of the superfluous scratches which you can't really see. I'll try and show you with a torch later, and get rid of most of the swirls. So it's not going to be perfect. The paint is pretty bad on this car. It's 18 years old. I mean, you can see places like this, stone chips from 18 years of being driven, which I'm not going to fix myself. And I don't like using them touch-up pens because they leave it really crap. Yeah, just stone chips, loads of them. On this side, you might be able to see it. Along here somewhere. You can't really see it in this light, but there was a fairly big stone chip. Yeah. And the previous owner obviously used one of them horrible touch-up pens and left it all bumpy and crap, which is why I hate using them. So let's get the car out, give it a clean. Right, well that's the car cleaned and washed, almost decontaminated. I'm just letting, I've already dried it with a proper rinse aid and drying towel. I'm just waiting for the sun to get the last few bits of water droplets that are falling out, and then the next step is to clay bar it. That's the next step. I'm going to pull the car into the garage and do it in here. And for lube, I've made up this bottle. I'm not going to waste money on a clay bar lube because they're a scam to get people to pay for them. All I had to do was put this lubricating shampoo, just a capful, well, half a capful, into this old spray bottle, and then fill it up with water for the rest of it. And that is all you need for lube. You do not need to spend money on a clay lube. So yeah, pull the car in and start claying it. And then the next step is to use the polisher with this refinish compound, which I picked up. That'll cut and get rid of, hopefully, most of the little swirls. And then the next step is to give it a proper polish with this secret sauce to make it nice and glossy. I also want to give a shout out to this rinse aid. Every time I dry the car, like I said earlier, I always get water droplets no matter what I do. Spray this all over the car whilst it's still wet. Use a drying towel and absolutely no water droplets whatsoever. It looks incredible. That, it's already glossy. So yeah, let's pull the car in. I've given myself enough room to get down either side of the car. Easy, no problem. Right, time to clay lube it, clay bar it. There we go, split it in half. And then just want to knead it in your hands to warm it up. Get it a bit more elasticy. Make sure your hands are clean before you do this, otherwise you don't want to put any contaminants onto the clay bar, otherwise you're just going to scratch it all across your paintwork. So once it's all kneaded together, you just want to put it into a rough disc shape about that size and then start claying. I put a little bit of the lube on here, lube up the paint, and then just gently go across, and you can feel straight away when it starts to pick up stuff. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but it's already picking up some already. But you don't want to put pressure on, the clay will do it itself. If it starts to feel more like sandpaper, just put more lube on. I mean, look at that dirt. You see it? There you go. That is just from one half of a bonnet, and this car is freshly cleaned. This is why clay bars are amazing. If I'd have gone straight onto a machine polish after I cleaned it, all of this tiny specks of contaminants would have just been polished into the paint and just made the swirls worse. So this is why it's great to do a clay bar before you do a proper machine polish. And you don't need to do these often. Maybe once every 6 months if you're really serious about it. But with all this on there, all you have to do is just start moulding it again, fold it over, knead it, stretch it out and get a clean bit sorted, and then carry on. Right, well, the clay bar is now done as best as I could. I pulled it back out into the sunlight. There's going to be water droplets and leftover, you know, suds from the lube. I've rinsed it off, but I'm going to give it all a final wipe down with isopropyl alcohol to get off any remaining residue, make sure the surface is extra clean, and then time to move on to the DA cut. I'm nervous and excited. Right, I've got the yellow medium cutting pad on the DA polisher. Going to use this cutting compound, fast cutting power, to do most of the work. Once I pull the car back into the garage, the car's dry now, so I can put it into the garage under the light and out of the sun to do the polishing. And then after that, I'll put the black polishing pad on. This is very soft. This one's medium. The red is very hard for a very hard cut. I'm not going to use that just in case. And then after that, I'm going to put this secret sauce onto the black pad and then give it a final polish. And then buff it all off with plenty of very clean microfiber towels. So I'm a bit nervous but excited. So let me pull the car back in again and start the polish. You can see all the swirls and the marring in the paintwork. Told you it's quite bad at close, but hopefully after the polish that won't be as bad. Let's give it a go. Right, now I'm scared, so I have to dab bits on apparently, and then put it on a medium-ish, and then buff it off. Oops. Oh wow. Holy ball bags. My word. I mean, after one pass over, you can already see a lot of the swirls are already gone. There's still scratches and stone chips there. I'm not going to get rid of them. But the swirls, I mean, they're still present. But for the first pass, that's amazing. Next step is to buff with this hybrid wax or polish on a nice soft polishing pad with a bit of a higher speed. So then I'm going to take it out in the sun and see how it looks. I mean, you know, it's 18-year-old paint. It's not perfect, but hopefully it will be better than it was. So let's crack on. I'm shattered. Right, car is all polished, cleaned, ready to get out in the sun. I've just tested it with a torch. There's still swirls there. I'm not going to get rid of them with my techniques because this paint is so old. I think they're fully embedded in. I could go with a heavier cutting compound, but the paint is so thin. I think I've got to meet it in the middle, and I think I'm probably at the best point. Most of the swirls are gone. Most of the superfluous scratches are gone. And the paint, you can probably see from just here, just looks absolutely incredible. From this far, if you get right up close, you can start to spot some imperfections. But yeah, I'm going to pull it out into the sun and have a look underneath the bright lights. Oh, a lot of work. not perfect, but looks much better than it did. Ideally I could just get a full respray, but that's a lot of money. So I'm happy with how it came out. Could be better. Looks better than it did, but still a lot of scratching. 18-year-old imperfections that are showing up. So what can you do? Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.